Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to take a look at the Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beasts number 100 Bumblebee. So let's pick up the phone and take a quick look at the packaging. We got Rise of the Beasts, we got the render of Bumblebee, we got all this stuff. Plastic free packaging except for the tape and glue. Got 100, you got him in there. On this side, you got the CGI render of Bumblebee. And on this side, you also have CG render of Bumblebee. On the back, you get the product shots, along with, so we got robot mode and we got vehicle mode, we got General Motors. I haven't actually scanned that QR code. If you want to do that, go ahead. We got 23 transformation steps, and then bio is Bumblebee blasts back. That's a lot of bees. Bumblebee blasts back hordes of Terracons in a heroic final stand. All that fun stuff. So now that we've got all that out of the way, let's take this guy out of the box. So here we have Bumblebee as he comes packaged in his robot mode. Now, once you get him, you want to make a couple of little edits. You want to take these chest corner pieces and click them upwards, then adjust the wings to your liking. And there we have Bumblebee, who I think looks really, really good. There's a lot of nice detail on here. The head sculpt is amazing. I was lucky enough to find the one with the more film accurate paint job. You got internal detail at the neck. You got the chest. You got torso, all nice gunmetal gray. You got the arms, yellow and silver. You got the legs. You got the boots. And then spinning him around to the back, he's very compressed for a Bumblebee figure. Like, all Bumblebees have a backpack, it's just a fact, but this one is very well compressed. Now, turning to accessories, Bumblebee comes with two of, both of which being weapons. The first one is his focus, please, would be the Stinger Blaster, which is sculpted in yellow but painted entirely in this gunmetal gray, which I feel like they could have just sculpted this in gunmetal gray, so they would have more paint budget for the Stinger Blade, which, as you can see, is very bland. It's just a flat shade of yellow, and if they had just sculpted this in gunmetal, they could have painted silver onto this. As far as weapon integration goes, the blaster slides into his right arm and only his right arm. And there's that weapon integration. And then the blades, it has these two tabs that go into these two slots on any of the arms. So you can just slide that into place. Pretty sure in the movie he either used the Stinger Blaster or the Stinger Blade. The blaster is kind of difficult to get out, so just proceed with caution. So you can have him wield the Stinger Blade with his right arm. So he can do that. And now that we are on the topic of how you can integrate the weapons into poses, let's actually discuss Bumblebee's articulation. So the head is on a ball joint. We'll look up and down, it'll tilt, and it will rotate. Shoulders are on ball joints. Can technically pull a full 360, but all that crap in the way. They go in and out. There's a bicep swivel. 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, nothing at the wrists, but you do get a waist swivel. Hips kick forward that far, kick back that far, go out to the side. There's a thigh rotation, 90 degrees of bend at the knee. Feet can rotate, and he has an ankle pivot. And the wings can just do whatever you want. You can have them flat, you can have them straight, you can have them however you want. Unfortunately, you can't fold them up. So there is his articulation. Now, let's go through some size comparisons. So the first comparison I'm going to make would be between him and Rise of the Beasts RC. Now, I'd say the scale works pretty well for RC being a core class. Next up, we are going to do the Studio Series Mirage, which, as you can see, I have custom painted and is very broken. His review will be very interesting, because yes, I will review this guy. His review will be very, very interesting. But there's that comparison. I say the scale between these two works really well. Next up is the Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Wheeljack. Let's see if I can get these ankle pivots to work so he can stand. Right? Alright, there we go. And on the one hand, these two seem like kind of out of scale in terms of their vehicle modes. But on the other hand, I think that the scale is actually accurate, because I'm pretty sure this off-road Camaro is actually kind of large. Now, last but not least, seeing as I do not have the Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Optimus, and probably will never get it, because that thing has zero availability, here is the Rise of the Beasts mainline Optimus. And, of course, this is a shorter Voyager, and this is a Studio Series Deluxe, so these guys don't scale the greatest. Optimus should be taller. Sorry, I got a call. So, these guys are not really in scale with one another, and you will definitely see that once we get to their vehicle modes. Speaking of which, it's time to transform. Wait. We need to do weapon storage. So, blaster, it's got these two tabs that allows it to peg into that wing. That door wing. Then, blade, this little cutout in that door that allows the blade to slot in, and then that kind of fills out that hollow cutout. And then you flap the wings back, and it's kind of hard to tell that there are accessories in there because they're kind of naturally covered by the doors. So there is your robot mode weapon storage. Now let's get to his transformation. So the first thing you're going to want to do is droop those torso pieces down. Now we can go to the legs. You want to take this panel, fold it out, rotate the foot, bring the heel up, then collapse the foot in on that double joint. Do the same thing on the other side. Now, when I first got this figure, these two rear pegs went in without a hitch, but these two upper pegs would not go together. So I had to shave them down with like a metal nail filer, but I did shave them down and I got them done. Now, what you're going to want to do is unfold the backpack. So take this joint, unfold it, and peg it in. And take this, unfold it, and peg it in. Next, you're going to want to untap the chest and shift it forwards. Then you're going to want to take the front of the Camaro and snap it into place. And straighten these pieces out. Next, you're going to want to slot that in. And then you're going to want to take these two pieces right here and push. I'll peg them in. And then these tabs that were originally used for weapon storage will go into those slots on the side of the thighs. So just snap those into place. Next, you want to take the arms and arrange them like this. So then you can fold them inwards. You then want to take the wheels and collapse them. Then these tabs on the arms will peg into these slots here. So just collapse those until they do kind of slide in. One of them doesn't really tab in for me, but whatever. Kind of bounces out. I'm just putting too much force on it. Yours, I'm hoping that it's just a me thing because I tried to thicken up that tab with super glue and that didn't go the greatest. Camaro mode. Camaro mode. So, the Camaro mode is pretty good, that's for sure. It's a really good vehicle mode. He rolls pretty well if all four wheels are touching the ground. He does clear the ground. And, I mean, the arms do hang out, yeah, but they do clear the ground most of the time. Now, for alt mode weapon storage, the gun, there is a slot back there that you'll be able to see easier if you actually have a toy that gun will go into. There's a slot there on the bottom that this tab on the blade will peg into. So there's your weapon storage, and you can really keep the blade on, and it does not make the alt mode look worse. So first vehicle mode size comparison we have will be Rise of the Beasts RC, who, yeah, this bike is way too big. Especially when you compare it to the other vehicles, this bike is way too big. But I mean, it's a core class, what do you expect? Next, you have Mirage, which I really like this vehicle mode for Mirage. His review will come eventually. I've tried to fix it. It didn't work. And so I'm just going to stop trying to fix it. You'll see what exactly is broken when my video for Mirage comes around. Next up we have Wheeljack, and I thought that this scale was incorrect, but when you actually look at a picture with all the Autobots, the scale looks pretty accurate. I'm not sure how RC scales, but I swear I remember her actually scaling pretty well with Bumblebee. The one thing that doesn't scale with Bumblebee, though, would be Optimus. Hey! Yeah, these two do not scale whatsoever. Optimus should be much bigger of a truck to scale with Bumblebee. So, I'm going to do a quick time-lapsed transformation for Bumblebee, then we'll get into my final thoughts. So, some final thoughts for the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. I think this is a really good figure, or it's a really good Bumblebee. I haven't had any other Studio Series Bumblebees, except for the Gamer Edition, if you count that. Looking at my collection right now, and the Gamer Edition Cliff Jumper mold is the only thing I have close to another Studio Series Bumblebee. So, there's that. So, that has been it for this review. Next review will be, I want to say, a double review of RC and Mirage. So I will see you all in the next one. Bye.